And well, apparently I didn't need to press anything for the coffee cup to evolve. But there we are. You are now audible.
I was waiting for you to find that one.
Brain Y. A snake and a kitty in a cup. Yes. So for some weird reason, thank you, Emoto, for the 39-month resub. Very much appreciated. But Brain Y, did you read Superus as Super Anus?
I cannot tell you that. I am not your psychiatrist, nor do I want to be.
Oh, but I actually can't think of a compelling argument to say that you should be. But yes, go on and tell them what you sent to me in DMs.
So this was in reference to the reason why certain art cannot be done on stream, and I literally said, no, naughty bits will migrate, which Onithama will understand the reference to that.
It requires them to detach themselves first, but yes.
Which like, how up to date is your chat on the 12 and milk lore?
I think they know of the emote existing, and that's about it.
Oh god, don't remind me of that emote. Help.
You drew it.
What have I created? What have I created? Oh no.
Also, apparently people were not believing that the candle emote was a candle. I said, I can assure you it is.
And
then someone thought there was a candle in the thicket. I was like, no. The candle is the whole thing.
Yes. I can provide visual proof in the chat, not in the stream chat, but like
I was gonna say.
on the server. I'll put it in media sharing, and I'll share the full-sized image so that people can be proven of. So oh god, I cannot see. The truth can be proven. There we go.
The proven can be truth.
That also.
Yes.
See, the file is even called candle.
Yeah, see? Don't know what all you lots are thinking about. It's definitely a candle. Nothing shifty going on whatsoever. You're all lewd.
There we go.
And I hope your grandmothers are very disappointed in you. Only because there's something uniquely sinister about not parental disapproval. That's just trauma. Grandparent disapproval? Ooh. Never shaking that one off.
I mean, my grandma is from a culture where gayness gets you in jail. So, considering the fact that I am actually, in fact, gay,
Congratulations. Also, for some weird reason, when you said that your grandmother was in a cult from a culture, I honestly thought you were going to say your grandmother is from a cult.
Thankfully not.
My mother was disappointed in me the day I was born. Well, Lydia, I wasn't. I was very, very glad the day that you were born, even if I didn't know it. It did not look like just a candle. I mean, it is a candle. It's just a candle of a very, very...
It's an elaborate candle. It's an elaborate candle. It was created by taking a mold of the thicket and its adjoining areas, and enhanced with The candle wick. It's meant to promote female pride and to destigmatize period products. It's wholesome.
This is the most
Why
wholesome
won't
thicket.
anybody believe me?
Because, I don't know, maybe they know about how much you like thickets.
I don't actually. I am actually significantly enough ace that I do not particularly feel the need or desire to interact with thickets.
The way that you said interact with a thicket on a game console.
Yes, I press buttons and be like, do a thing.
Well, you heard it here first, everyone. Emoto gives foreplay tips.
Listen, that only occurred to me after the fact that then I was like, oh boy, should I say it?
I mean, this is my streams. You know the kind of things that goes on here. There's
I
like a
mean,
candle
fair
stuck in
enough.
someone's behind. I mean, the entire thing is supposed to be the candle, and the bit that's alight is the wick. Not John Wick. No, oh, God, Brain, why? Now I did think of... Thanks, Brain. John Wick butt plugs are now on my brain.
Clarification needed. Do you mean as in butt plugs that have been or shall be used by John Wick, or butt plugs in the shape and likeness of John Wick, or both?
Okelo nos dos.
That reminds me of like, you know, the meme of like, uh, oh god, I'm blanking, on the where like Keanu Reeves is like standing on the stage. Was it a stage with like the mini version of him standing beside him? That was a stage, right?
I am not aware of the mini version next to him. The one of him standing on the stage is that I know that he was, saying you're breathtaking. The other parts, that's new to me.
There is one where he's like standing and next to him is like a edited mini version of him.
Oh, I think it's from the same. It's from the same thing. So yeah, it's the same stage where the breathtaking quote happened.
Yes.
It's all the more wholesome because he actually did say that. Because it's Keanu Reeves. I always have to stop and wonder because there's a very weird sound outside the window. I know it's a bird, but it's not a bird I've ever heard of before. And then I have to remind myself, Malk, you are from the UK. Of course you're not going to know what Florida birds sound like. Mario, welcome. I'm being smashed by a Grammy. How does that even work? See above the mini one is the butt plug. Oh my god. I'm afraid to click this link.
It's harmless. It's harmless. I promise.
Oh god. It's giving me a redirect notice. Oh god, yeah. Oh god.
Do you see my vision now?
I do, and I think that it should be modelled with the arms. Extra sensation.
It is going to function like so um there are certain anatomical details to specific anatomy of feline reproductive organs,
Ah, the
which
spiky bits.
yes, that.
Yeah, see? The butt plug just has the spiky bits for Keanu's arms.
Does that make it a feline themed butt plug.
What? He meowl Reeves.
Ah!
I don't
As
know
a
who.
cat,
I
I
don't know
am
who's.
offended now.
I don't know who's more offended, you or chat. Sober enough the way this is going, so have
These
a good
people.
stream again. See you drink. No problem, Wigwin. Thanks for coming as long as you did. See you next time.
Listen, usually chat only has to contend with my cursed commentary in like as fast as I can write, which like is fast enough, but like considering that I'm usually distracted during streams and like doing other stuff, so like I'm not always able to like immediately respond to whatever cursed notion arises in my head. So like there is like a tempo limit to how cursed I can be. But now it's unlimited.
Oh no. Wait, why am I saying oh no? I encourage this.
For the reference, um I am neither drunk nor under the influence of any other drugs. This is just me.
Yep.
On caffeine, but like caffeine is like water to me.
That's either very weak caffeine or something's gone wrong. And we both know that
It's
something's
called
gone wrong because I'm in the same boat.
it's called having a caffeine addiction.
Yeah. My DM for your reaction says convo. Let's have a look, video. Why do I have six? Why am I being pinged all over the place now? Jesus. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna. This is gonna have to go up on stream. Tomorrow went live too. That's not why I should have 6. There. That's Lydia's reaction to our conversation.
I'm not sure if I should say I'm sorry or you're welcome, so I'm gonna go with both.
I'm sorry, but you're welcome. Oh, now I've been
You know how
earwormed.
you know how they say like adversity builds character?
It's just character building.
I was gonna say like you should call this stream character building.
It makes sense. You know what? Character building. I'm just gonna. So it's gonna be the thing on the VOD afterwards. Character building. Caden, hello and welcome. Unlimited power. Oh no. Abby just stole the wrappers from my ice cream sandwiches and had to chase her around the yard. Ah, dogs. Permanent toddlers.
And cats.
Cats grow up. Mostly.
That has yet to be proven.
I mean, if you look at I always said it, if you look at Caden and Dresden, not Capius and Dresden. Congratulations, Caden, you're now my pet.
You have just there you go. You have 3 cats now.
Yep. It's fine, you get 3 meals a day and you get petted whenever you want and you get outside time. What more could you want?
I mean, listen, I would be happy with that.
I actually don't know many people who wouldn't be, to be fair.
Wouldn't it be 4? I mean, depends on your definitions, I suppose.
Oh yeah, Moto is, but
yes,
not. And
but
Moto,
I'm
very
not.
important, is not my pet.
Yeah, I am sister. I am not
Yes.
pet. I do have some rights that go beyond.
I
That
almost
go
then.
beyond.
I almost thought you were going to say you have some dignity. That wow.
No, I do not.
Of course not. You're related to me. Why would you have dignity?
Yeah, right.
Dignity
Also,
is a
like
dump
the
stat.
best part about this, the dignity about this is, the best part about this is that I chose to be your sibling, which means
Exactly.
that like I don't even have the excuse of like I was born into this. It's not my fault. I
Nope.
didn't have a choice. No, I did have a choice, and I made my choice.
Yes. Oh, an owl dragon. Fluffles. That's not a nickname.
Ooh,
Just the action of fluffling.
I approve of Owl Dragon.
Yes. You know what I don't approve of? My decision for the patterns to use on this character. I mean, in fairness, not my character, um, not my design, but saying yes to them. Brain is starting to have second thoughts. I mean, this one for the belly is absolutely fine. I've got no issue with it. This pattern, however, hurts. Pet Brute, you are.
I have already told you that this is par for the course of like the artistic masochism. You'll get used to it. Just, you know, art is a vicious dominatrix and with a sadistic streak. So just bend over and like grit your teeth and get through it.
You're not wrong. Pet Brute, you are always going to be the Pet Brute lid. Whether it's wanting to be pet or wanting to become a pet. Went to the local game store yesterday and got a new playmat for Magic. It's Were Dragons. Ooh. Hoggy, yes. That is what this character is based on, as a hognose, and he's called Wilbur.
Oh my goodness.
Because
I very
Charlotte's
much
Web.
approve.
I very much approved as well when the owner said about the name Wilbur. I was like, what's the significance of the name Wilbur? And they told me, like, oh my god, I love that. Wilbur, yep. And what's even funnier is the game that this character is going to be in. This character is an absolute damage-dealing monster called Wilbur. Along the same vibe as seeing the mythical sorcerer. What's your name? There are some who call me Tim.
The
Which, fun
bacon
fact, was an ad lib.
takes revenge now.
Oh no. Oh no.
Revenge of the bacon.
It's what happens when you act too rashly. Ah.
The word tabs has been mentioned, and um,
Tabs?
I will not disclose how many tabs I have open.
I know it used to be 50 or 60. To which I have two tabs open counting you. Stop by when I tab back to Discord. This is why I have Discord as the app.
Same.
Jason, welcome, little bro. What did I walk into? Why are we like this? Because we're related. Oh, Jace, that means there's no hope for you either. One itchy eye. Have 3 tabs open max usually. Generally I've got Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, 2 Google tabs, and then whatever on top of that. So at least 5 at all times. Look at this image. The wear thing. Ooh. Oh, I like that. I've never seen a were dragon before. I've heard the concept. I have the Discord attribute it's buffering more than I was on Earth. Got one open because laptop is it's on poopy Wi-Fi. Yay, poopy 1 tab. More than 5 tab opens and it bothers me. See, this is just telling me that Emoto is the odd one out here. Wouldn't have you any other way, but it's a thing. 41? Over 100? Do you not know how to close tabs on your phone, Tora?
I mean,
also, thanks,
I don't.
for me noticing that this little bastard dot exists.
Oh, I love the mysterious dot. Whenever you do art, it's always like, that one dot that came out of nowhere. Which fucking layer is it on? Who knows?
Oh god, yeah, I've bamboozled myself. Like, I've got my little pattern and palette references there. Do I remember what layer they're on? Do I fuck?
And yeah, like, I have 40 tabs open on my phone, which, like, it used to be 49. But I have a reason.
30? What the? Chrome have 2
I
different
have a
Chrome
reason.
accounts. The one Blue Sky needs to be an account. If it's one to reboot without looking for them, no, I just usually click on link through TikTok and want to go back to the. What on earth? I feel like I'm surrounded by people with ADHD. Oh wait, I am.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how do we break the news to you? No, but like, I have a reason why I have so many tabs open on my phone. The reason being that oftentimes I'll open up a bunch of fanfics in separate tabs on my phone so that, like, they can preload, so that, like, if I am, you know, going somewhere and the internet is garbage, I can still read stuff and not die from, boredom. So, like, that's why I do that. I have an excuse for why I have so many tabs open on my phone.
I would
I do,
argue that's not
however,
a
not
great
have an
excuse.
excuse. I do not have an excuse for why I have so many tabs open on my computer, though.
Yeah, no,
Other
you
than
really
me
don't.
being. Listen, the ADHD is too powerful.
You are. Sometimes we have 10 or 11, which sounds like I have the least amount. You've got less than me, Caden. If we're talking about, people in chat, then yeah, you do have one of the least, but yeah. You understand me? Of course I understand you, Ride. If I didn't, I'd be very, very worried. The lack of context there makes it sound like something lewd and lascivious is going on. It's not, I just know Ride well. Oh, that's the very first time I've actually gone to use the phrase lewd and lascivious and have it not be related to crime. Well, there.
Listen, progress comes in all shapes and sizes.
You have 3 on your phone right now? I've got 0 on my phone. I see to multiple accounts, it was a genuine mistake. I did not realize for a while that sometimes I was on one Google account versus another. See, that's okay. That makes sense. Like, the reason why I have 2 Gmail tabs open is from 2 different accounts. And technically I should have a 3rd account open because that's linked to something else. And I have a notepad document with a load of tabs that I need to be keeping open. I just don't. Because last time I closed all those to do a full reset, I just couldn't be bothered to reopen them. Got some better about phone tabs. You only have 2 open at the moment. I have to cancel a lot of different bookmarks. See, bookmarks are fine. Multiple tabs? Less so.
Listen, you want to know how many goddamn bookmarks I have?
See, that would be less offensive. I wouldn't mind if you have, like, say, 500 bookmarks. That would be more understandable, less offensive. The 41
But
open
that is
tabs.
entirely. But that's entirely impractical.
No, it's not.
Do you want me to scroll through like 500 bookmarks every time I'm looking for one specific thing?
That's why folders exist.
I have ADHD. Do you think folders make any type of sense to me?
Organization.
No. I listen. I am offended.
You were there. I
My
also
ADHD is offended.
wish I could say mine too, but I don't have it. I've got mild traits of it, but I don't have it. Just use folders. You have some folders despite brain cell being ADHD. One tab is a website for sales communication aids to non-verbal people just waiting for monies, and others watching for restock of stickers. There's a tab for commission of a couple more waiting for monies. See, I was keeping the werewolf trainer tab up for ages, but the entire site's fucking sold out of it. Which is annoying because I really want that t-shirt. It's fine though, my upcoming werewolf character will be wearing that shirt. You want a link to the werewolf trainer?
No.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it, as in shock. Like, why? Now I realize you were speaking to Tora.
Yes. Just adding for clarification.
Clarification, the fun dance we can all do together. I fucking hate why Clip Studio does this.
I'm just realizing that I am supremely weird, which like I mean this is not a revelation, but
I was about to
like
say, I've known you for how long now, and you've only just said that?
okay. But no, like when I color in stuff, I do it by hand and like just the entire thing because I cannot be bothered to like clean up the little like the little edge where the fill in the bucket tool, I don't know what that's called in English.
Tool.
Yeah, like I can't be bothered to clean up that little edge, but I can be bothered to just fill in the whole thing by hand.
Gotta love how neurodivergent brains work. I don't like doing it this way. Even though it's easier, I like doing it my way, even though it's harder. It takes more time.
Like it feels like it should be done. Like for some reason my brain is more easily able to accept that like okay, this is just a tedious thing, that like tedious things are going to be tedious. Okay, cool. As opposed to um doing it the hard way and accepting that it's the hard way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a process that you are used to, and when it's something you're used to, your brain accepts it more rather than having to learn a new way of doing things, which brain goes, no.
Yeah. Which like I mean, I used to sometimes uh use the proper, the fill-in tool, but like that was when I had uh cleaner line arts, where like nowadays I tend to prefer softer line arts. So like it's inevitably going to have fuzzy edges. So like that's where my brain was like, if it's gonna be fuzzy either way, like just commit to the effort of like doing the thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Link is sent is for the hoodie, but they have stickers, patches, and more. Ooh.
Yes. me with my God damn it!
I mean, God damn it, what happened?
Like, okay, so for context, my mouse, like my normal computer mouse, is for some reason screwed, and it jitters, and like I cannot get anything, like I can't click anything precisely. So I switched over to just using my graphic tablet for everything. Like I just use it the way I would normally use my mouse. Um the thing is that uh I sometimes like tap like too hard or too lightly or whatever, like, or sometimes the nib doesn't respond properly. And what usually happens is that, like, with my now 42 tabs open, the tabs are getting increasingly tiny. So when I click a tab, I sometimes accidentally double click, and because the tab is so tiny, it's basically just the X at this point. So like I close the tab accidentally all the
Uh,
time.
okay, that makes
So
sense.
whenever I open or whenever I click a tab now, I have my fingers on just like the keyboard to like bring back, like to do the key combination to bring back the tab, because ah
Makes sense.
yes.
Yeah, Control Shift T. Almost like it sounded like I said Control Shit T. Like, no, please don't. I like tea. I feel like I'm drawing Earth crystals from Final Fantasy with this. It's fine. It's markings and somewhat form of camouflage. It doesn't need to be precise. That's what I'm telling myself. Otherwise, I think I might eat my own hand. Another reason why I wanted to eat before I streamed. I didn't end up trying to eat my hand.
From what I can see, they do ship overseas. Like there is an option for international orders, but I'm figuring out uh if that's for all stuff or just specific stuff. So like I'm going to be on this when the stream is over, and I'm going to be looking through that
Sounds good.
if I don't
Crunch.
accidentally close the tab again.
What's the crunch for, right? Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So, Emoto, your mouse problem. Do you happen to? Is it happen to be one of those laser mice?
Yes.
Is the surface you were using it on somewhat shiny?
The surface I'm using it on is an old ass mouse pad that is intended for the Bluetooth, the laser thingy, but it is wrinkly where like it is badly manufactured. So like underneath the plastic, the foil that is supposed to be the like the backing foil thing is wrinkly, and I think it's because of that.
Yeah, it is the mouse pad. If you get yourself like a fabric mouse pad or something like that, it will clear up the problem immediately, because the weird way that laser mice work is it reads where the laser is pointing onto the ground and then reflects back into it to trace its movement. Usually on plastic
Yeah.
surfaces, it goes into the plastic and then the plastic refracts the light into several different beams, which means that the mouse doesn't know which one is actually the correct one, so it tries to register all of them, hence jittery.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, it didn't used to do that even though I had the same mouse pad. So like I think the mouse just is like no longer able to tolerate that
Quite
because it's
possibly.
old or something.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm gonna be getting a new mouse pad at some point later on.
At some
Just
point.
another expense. Doesn't matter. I'm just so broke at this point.
I don't think I actually know anyone. Wow. Yeah, I know very few people who aren't in that situation. Apparently, you need a boober mouse pad.
I am a booba mouse pad.
Tora, please quote that. Please. I know I don't ask you to quote certain things very often, but please quote that. Wow.
That just came like out of me. I don't even know why I said that, but like that just
Oh, thank you for the hydration reminder. Caden, you hear what was said? 10 said, I am a boober mouse pad. Ah, God, that was needed. Thank you for getting the quote there, Tora. 1,703. What the fuck? Glad you got that one as well, Tora. Like I said in Discord after that stream, I never thought I would say those words in context. And yet here we are.
yeah, as far as I know, necrophilia is a crime.
Yeah, we were talking about Queen Victoria as well. Yeah. Sherlock streams are getting wild. And I still cannot process where they went. Like yesterday it started with being in the British Museum and hunting down clues to find out what the next thing that is going to be stolen is, and it came out to basically be a picture of Queen Victoria. I was like, oh god, he's going to try and steal the Queen. We then went to Buckingham Palace and went through this whole slew of ridiculous, weird puzzles trying to find 4 dollhouse dolls for this woman who was offering very overtly sexual favours for them, who also happened to be a personal friend of the Queen. When we got through all of them, the clock in Queen Victoria's room opens up, out steps the master thief, and he basically goes on this long soliloquy of trying to charm her and says, I would but steal one thing from you, a kiss. And it wasn't just a normal sort of, quick peck on the lips or quick peck on the cheek. No, it was the whole full movie swooning down, cradling over kiss of Queen Victoria.
Listen, Queen Victoria was a very sad and lonely woman after the loss of Prince Albert. If she needs assistance with certain matters, far be it from me to tell her no.
Yeah, but this is also the guy who's been threatening the sanctity of England. Like, I know that a lot of people out there like bad boys, but there's a limit. There's bad boys, and then there's, political treason.
I mean, does it really matter if you're threatening the sanctity of England, the country, or the sanctity of England, the personification, aka the Queen of England? I mean, like,
Yeah, it's sort of same thing. And also, like, Sherlock tries to get an ally on board, as in, being the manservant, tries to get him on board by giving this really long and, drawn out metaphor for joining the fight. And the worst thing of all, he is French. And that was, it's like, good argument, Sherlock. You could have just said the dude's French, and he's threatening the monarchy. That would have taken a lot less time, and still been very in character for you. Because as we all know, Sherlock was a very bad person. Ah. Sherlock, yes. Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Lid? Or was that just in reaction to what I said about Sherlock? It's in your head again. Well, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, wait, the VOD is still updating. You've got the Golden Joystick award for his role playing sound. He did. Yeah. I posted a link to the Twitter post in your gaming, I think, Lydia, which was Larian Studios announcing all of the things they won, including Best Community. The award for Best Community has pretty much been solely held by Final Fantasy XIV. And that's kind of incredible to see it, pop over. Also, I want to check, because you just reminded me. Oh, there we go. The VOD
I'm trying so hard.
The Sherlock streams up. You have to.
I'm trying so hard not to comment on the golden joystick.
It's fine. It's only gold plated.
Oh, well, in that case. Could you imagine gold flakes rubbing off on your internal mucosa?
Sounds hot. Copyright can protect content file the owner allows the copyright to be used on YouTube. But why is it not allowed on Twitch then? I don't fucking know. Fucking Disney.
Huh.
And yes, I did use the title of Not in the Royal We, Sherlock, or Shellcock. It's Shellcock Home and Dr. Wason. Baldur's Gate 3 pulled off. It did. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 won a lot of awards. And deservedly so. Even Cyberpunk picked up some awards. Cyberpunk picked up awards for Best Game Expansion with Phantom Liberty and Best Game Trailer with Phantom Liberty. Those are the only awards I've heard so far. Yeah, that's enough shapes. Line them, and then blend. But will it blend? Better fucking well do. Otherwise I'm going to eat my stylus.
I would discourage that, but knowing you and your draconic tendencies, I doubt that is going to do any good.
Crunch, crunch. Also, I keep seeing weird things in the corner of my eye. Like, I keep seeing, like, chit. I almost said chit. Chit flickering. Chat flickering. And it looks like there's been a new message. I look over there, and no, there's no new message. Not even saying, someone has deleted a message. So it's not my mods playing games on me.
I mean, it looks normal on my end, which, I am basically just viewing as I normally would, so.
Right, I'm going to deep fry batter you. Not the actual frying, just, coating you in the batter.
Did Milk stumble into the stream accidentally and steal your mic?
Apparently. And then wear them as a skin suit. Yes. The best and most premium skin suit.
I mean, what is a leather outfit if not a skin suit?
Precisely. You know what I'm talking about.
That
Well,
reminds me of like our stupid meme of like what was it again? Like what is a stiletto if not a sharpened knife or no, a shoe or what was that?
oh god, what was that? Think suit. Bring fingers, please. You just found a new phone wallpaper. Well, I think I've also found a new game for you. I actually think it's also a PlayStation 4 game. Because Callie is trying it right now, and it is very survival focused, but it's also Souls-like-ish with its difficulty. But there's an exploration mode, so you can just thing. You forgot about aliens? I mean, so did I. But it's the free thing is from the 7th for a month, so you've still got time to claim it. Yes. Not much, but yeah. Yeah, so this one legit is called Fade to Silence. And is winter set, post-apocalyptic. Base building and survival bits. You've heard of the title? Never seen it though. It's free right now for PlayStation Plus members. If PlayStation Plus never used the damn thing. I mean, the only time we've used PlayStation Plus was when we were doing Bloodborne and Monster Hunter. The emotion has fallen silent.
I was just watching and reading along. I didn't have anything to add.
Ah.
No cursed wisdom came upon me.
Fair. You never claim the games. That's fair. I do all the time, but then again, I'm on my PS. I'm on PlayStation all the time.
Also, my little character being in the shade while I'm silent,
Yeah.
it satisfies my cave dwelling instincts.
Daystar, it burns.
Yeah.
Of course,
Like
it's
my
hot today.
dad,
It's
like
Florida.
my dad put foil, like reflective foil, across my windows because his plants like need all the sunlight they can get now that like the winter time is approaching,
Ah.
which has the added benefit of covering my window up so it's darker in my room, which is great. But today, one of the foils partially came loose.
Oh.
So I had the displeasure of witnessing daylight.
DJ, hello and welcome.
Only a bit late because of jobs.
That's fine. Oh, good God. How the fuck have I been doing this for an hour already? Damn dark
See,
gods.
like a funny thing for me is like sometimes when like I used to do screen recordings, there we go, of my art while I was painting, and I would speed them up
Oh, yeah, speed
afterwards
painting.
so that like yeah, so that like it wasn't going to be like a 10-hour video. Which like long videos on YouTube have become more of a thing, but like even an hour is like a lot. So I would speed up my painting videos a lot. Um, and then I would get disappointed because I'd be looking at that and be like, fast in real life. Why is it taking so long?
Time flies when chatting and having fun. Time flies when having chat. Look, there's a harem command. There's a reason for it existing.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Exclamation mark harem.
Oh, okay. I never look at the commands. I
There
only
we go.
know the. I only know the
Oh, the redeems.
words. Yes.
That's fair. There we go. Yeah. I mean, how I behave with most of chat, not really inaccurate.
I mean, on the one hand, yes, but on the other hand, sibling immunity.
This is why I said most of.
Yes.
Do not scratch on that, KBS.
Yes, sir? You know you've been called out, don't you?
Cat.
Boop your snoot.
Cat.
Kit.
Cat.
He's being a shit.
I mean, when isn't he?
This is very true. Actually, no, he was being very sweet this morning when I had just woken up. He jumped onto the bed, curled up on my leg, and actually fell asleep. So I was snoring.
Oh, that's very precious.
Yep. And last night, when I went to bed, he has to come to bed with me. Has to. And I got into bed, and he didn't jump onto the bed as he usually does. So, okay, fine, I'll just go into my sleeping position then. So I laid on my chest as I usually do. He then jumped up, walked all over me, and just meowed at me. He came up, came up to my head and meowed again. So I was like, oh, okay, okay, KBS, sure. He tried to settle against me, but didn't really. As soon as I moved onto my side and put my leg out for him to settle onto, he dashed for it and curled up and rested his head on my leg. I was like, weird cat. He has to have his pillow. His pillow just happens to be my knee.
Yeah. Before I left home, the cats, or especially the little cat, for context, my fiance has 3 cats, 2 of which are staying with us because ye old crotchety grandma cat can't stand the youth, and she's like
Mood.
over it. So grandma cat stays with my fiance's little sister. And so we have mom cat and baby cat.
Ah.
Baby cat is a little demon, and baby cat has recently, before I left, claimed my ankle as her preferred pillow,
Aw.
which forces my ankle to lay at a very specific, slightly uncomfortable, it's comfortable if you're just laying there, but if you have the weight of a cat on it and you're staying like that for hours on end, it gets uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's
That
the same
is
with
her
KBS.
preferred pillow now.
There's this really weird phenomenon. It's like you can sit in a certain weird position for ages, and it's absolutely fine, and it doesn't bother you because you don't need to move. But if you did need to move, you could. As soon as a cat sits on you in that position immediately becomes uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's like I need to move. My body needs to move now. Body, why? You don't usually need to move like this. Why?
Mm.
I'm also pleased to say that when I'm done with this bit, as in, doing the blending stuff on the patterns, most of the difficult bits will be done. says the entire upper body. Never mind. Won't be done. The difficult bit won't be done. There's still more of the patterning to do. And then I've got to do the outfit as well. I've got to colour that in. And decide what colours should wear. Just...
That's why I hate coloring stuff. Also because I do it the difficult way, but like, you know.
I mean, yeah, this is art. There's no easy way to do things. Or rather, there are easy ways to do things, but most artists I know refuse to do the easy things. Despite agreeing with me when I say that art is essentially just, a whole long list of cheats which let you stop doing what you're actually supposed to be doing.
Yes.
This is much easier. It's cheat. Does it feel like cheating? Yeah, but all art is cheating.
That is very true. It's just cutting as many corners as you can while trying to make it look like you didn't cut any corners.
Exactly. Hi, KPS. That's my thigh. I'm so glad we cut your claws the other day.
Yeah, I have some scratches on my hand that are not fading, even though they didn't actually bleed all that much, but like...
Yeah, I have a bunch of those on my inner upper arm. Because what Capius likes to do, late at night especially, is he likes to jump on my lap, lay on his side, and then do that paw kneading thing with his front paws on my left arm. Which is fine, except last time he did it, which was a few days ago, his claws were very sharp. And I thought, this is painful. It's not usually this painful, but, I'll enjoy it because it helps him and it calms him down. It's fine. And then the next day, I looked at my arm, I was like, well, that would explain why it's painful, and there's just red scratches all over the place. Some of which were, had been, like, getting a bit of surface amount of blood. And I was like, ooh, yeah, that definitely explains it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's had them trimmed now, so it's all fine. Until they get sharp again, which won't be too long, knowing you. Yes, you! Boop! Pokey, hello and welcome. Fill you up with stuff and call you the Tempura Wizard. Pokey, all that
I
is
think you
succeeding
need
in
milk to help you with that.
Jesus Christ.
Try telling me I'm wrong.
You're really not wrong, but I was just going to say all that does is make me want tempura now. But yeah, now...
Seafood cravings cured.
Yep. Who knew that was the cure for food cravings?
I am glad I ate beforehand.
I ate right before I clicked the start streaming button. But it's fine, it was soup.
Ah.
Very delicious soup. Homemade soup.
Yes.
You are, Kelly. Very good cook. You know what the worst thing about doing these hexagons is? The fact that after doing this blending, I then got to go through all of them over again to do another set of blending.
Yeah.
My punishment for paying attention to detail and wanting things to look better. This is my penance.
Yeah.
This is my punishment.
Yeah. It's always that like typical thing where it's like no other person would pay attention to this, but you know it's there. So you have to like spend an inordinate amount of time fixing it. And like I like that's why I haven't really done any of the like repaints for the Tales of the Terrible She, even though like I am pretty like set on the redesign now. Like I know how I want things to look and all that. But like I feel like literal death if I
Yeah.
have to redo all that. And also, like, I already have art, like, and a lot of it is like actually good art. So I'm like, no, my poor efforts.
Yatori doesn't want Sanae's wind charm, by the way. What on earth? Naruto? I'm throwing out a random guess because I don't know Naruto or Bleach or most of the big ones.
This sounds like free to me, but like, who the fuck would? I don't know if Sanae is a new character that like is from the later seasons that I haven't seen yet, or if this is referring to another anime with another character called Nitori and somebody called Sanae, which like, wait, wasn't the mom in Clanat called Sanae? Uh, you can tell that I haven't watched anime in a long time.
You've watched it more recently than me.
Aside from certain animes.
Hmm.
Mignon. Entschuldigung.
Yes.
I coughed so hard I turned German.
Supper. I mean, the anime that I have been actively watching is, partially about suffering, so, kind of yes. I say partially watching, I've watched 4 episodes in the last year.
I mean,
I'm not caught up.
yeah, I figured.
Season 3 is due to come out next year. I am on episode 13 of season 1.
Congratulations. Progress is not being made.
And those 4 episodes I watched in a day. You've not seen anime since, I want to say, 2017. I will throw anime at you, right? Even in GIF form, just so you can change that. People suck. People do suck. This has been with constant prodding from me to continue to. This is true poking. Mr. Titan, hello and welcome. Why is it saying first time chat? You've spoken here before. Dragon Maid, you need to steal away? You do not. You do not want to see Dragon Maid or support it because the creator behind it is into gross stuff, shall we say.
Uh-huh. Noted.
Yeah. KPS, the microphone picked that up. Or at least the stream one did.
What did he do?
Apparently, he meowed.
Just that? I thought he did something evil.
No, it wasn't a cry, it was a yowl. He's crying because he wants to be fed, but he doesn't get fed for another 40 minutes. Oh, yeah, it's because Callie came home, and he associates Callie coming home with him getting fed, because she usually comes home at around about 5:30 from work. And that's when they get fed. Yep.
I mean, that is more consistent than our baby cat. Who, like, if you just just as much as, like, breathe in the general direction of the kitchen, is going to meow up a storm and demand to be fed. Even if it's not feeding. Even if we just fed her, if you breathe in the general vicinity of the kitchen, she is absolutely convinced that death is upon her if she is not fed that very instant.
Yeah, that's pretty much Capius whenever the time triggers. Jeremy Sensei said, I don't actually know about that one. Female, human. Yeah, that's pretty much Capius.
I remember hearing interesting things about Eromanga Sensei, which just the title alone is telling me a lot. But like,
yeah, same. Like, the title of it
Yeah.
makes it sound like a specific sort of anime that you don't watch if your parents are going to be around, sort of thing. But I don't know if it's anything worse than just that.
Yeah.
Capius, buddy, you don't get fed for another half hour at least. I know what you're going to do. You're going to yowl and make it sound like I'm neglecting you. That's what he does. It's his favourite trick, apparently.
That
He's perfected this meow
sounds very familiar.
over the last year, which basically makes it sound like he's being neglected and abused.
Ah, yes, the horrible abuse of maintaining a healthy weight
Yep.
and not overfeeding.
Yep. Although we can't really claim that with Capius because he's getting a bit of a chonk on him and he keeps eating Dresden's food.
Ah.
Especially when it comes to lunchtime, because that's his favourite meal, because it's when he gets wet food. Capius adores wet food, Dresden prefers dry food. But Dresden needs to get wet food into his diet, because, otherwise dehydration.
Yeah. Our cats, the baby is too baby with its little teeth to eat the crunchy, hard, dry food. She is old enough to eat proper food nowadays. Like she is old enough. She should be weaned too, but like somebody forgot to tell her. And so like up until like before I left, she would still attempt to nurse. And Mother Cat would let her.
Someone didn't get the memo.
Nobody got the memo.
Was the memo even sent?
I doubt it. The postal office in Mother Nature's back garden was was on strike.
Ah. No one ever mango, okay. Cat sleeps on your pillow. Nice. Kind of lucky Pip doesn't seem to have a preference between wet and dry food, just eats her food. I mean, she is essentially a rat in a very big furry jacket. And not just her looks, it's her temperament as well. This is all based off of, just the things that you say in voice chat when we do the community night. Yeah, same, not even wrong.
I had a thought just now and I forgot it. Why?
Brian, why was my immediate reaction? Why is it my immediate reaction whenever someone says I had a thought, my brain says, did it hurt? I don't know why, but that's it. Watch the entirety of One Piece. I don't think I even want to watch one episode of One Piece.
Oh my God. So yesterday, I met up with a friend. Notably, I met her at the clinic, which like tells you the kind of friendship we have, I think, and like gives you a very good idea of like the kind of friendship that we have.
Yeah.
Because there's a very special kind of friendship that you'll develop by just being mentally ill in the same room together for 2 months.
I mean, most people call that a
Um,
relationship.
yes, but like I already have one of those, like in the traditional sense. So friendship it is. And like we met up yesterday, just to do like some random like window shopping, some like walking around, whatever, catching up, chatting, the usual. And one of the first things she tells me is, I'm up to date on One Piece now. And I was like, "Ugh, what?"
See, my immediate thought is whenever someone says I'm up to date on One Piece now, my immediate reaction is give it a week. Give it a week, you'll soon be 50 episodes behind again.
No, apparently that is her life now. She has been watching all of One Piece.
Jeez. Like, I used
Yeah.
to know people who, like, they would routinely rewatch Naruto. I was like, isn't that thing several hundred episodes long? Did not seem to.
Yeah, 400 something.
What the
Not
fuck?
counting the sequel that shall not be named.
I can't even bring myself to continuously rewatch Gungrave, and it's my favorite anime, and it's only 26 episodes.
I mean, like, I have in the past, occasionally, in like very weird moods of nostalgia, rewatched parts of Naruto where like I would go and like find my favorite arc and just like look for those and rewatch that.
Yeah, see, there's nothing wrong with
But
that.
I would
That's
rather
understandable, but
die than
watching the
watch
entirety of it
all.
from one.
I mean, like, not even that's like it's 400 including the fillers. So like you could cheat and just filter the fillers, but like even then, it's still way too much.
Yeah, I I struggle with Fist of the North Star, and that again, that's one of my favorites, and it's like only 127 episodes plus an OVA or two and a redo series. And yes, you're true. You're right, Pokey. I can't even consistently watch ReZero. That's the one that I watched 4 episodes of the day before yesterday, and that was a special
Wow.
occasion. I hadn't watched anime in a year, and the previous anime I'd watched was the first 9 episodes of ReZero over a few days. So yeah, me
Wow.
inconsistency when when I tell people I am not good at watching TV shows, I'm not lying.
Yeah.
Love rewatching things, but the longest thing I ever rewatched is like 4 seasons. Like, see, there's some other things that I used to rewatch a lot when I was young, like usually British sitcoms, and those are only like 4 seasons long, but each season was like 6 episodes, and I would get through them at so much of a pace I would keep rewatching them to the point where I used to be able to quote them word for word, episode for episode. It became a slight obsession, and I still can. Like, it has to be put on in the background, and I can then start quoting, but it's still in there. It's still in the brain pan somewhere. This is with the
Yeah,
Pokesyllable,
like
which is apparently something worthy of note. Yeah.
I mean, like if we ever needed a specific like proof that like your ADHD um is not quite like on the level that it is for some other people, this is one of the examples.
Yep. Definitely is.
Because an ADHDer would just like out of the blue hyperfixate on whatever, and then just like 3 days later emerge from the cave.
Yeah, I can't do that. Says a Steins Gate and Avatar as I was approaching to rewatch. I never watched the entirety of Avatar. I got to the Secret Tunnel episode, and that was the last episode of Avatar I ever watched. I don't even know how far into Avatar that is.
My fiance forced me to watch Avatar with her, so I am against my will caught up on the season like the first 3 seasons of Avatar, like not counting Legend of Korra, but like the original Avatar I am caught up on.
Yeah, it was my ex who was awful who tried to get me to watch Avatar. So yeah, there's now that association, which kind of means yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, that's Dragon Ball for me.
By the time Mount finishes season 2, Arcade will have been animated. Pokey, I am 100% willing to believe that once I finish season 2, ReZero will have finished being animated.
By the time you finish it, the heat death of the universe is going to be 2 weeks away.
Precisely. Time well spent. I understand there's also an autism thing. That wouldn't surprise me. There's a lot of overlaps between them. GG, fair enough, yeah. Thank you, DJ, for your contribution to the Dragon and Fox Stream Challenge. Arcade's current arc being written in the web novel. Yeah, that makes sense then. And, not even mentioning all the other anime series that I really want to watch, which I've tried to prune down because I'm not going to be having time to watch all of these. I've tried to stay somewhat consistent on my want to watch Demon Slayer after I've watched ReZero, but who knows when the time comes around for that.
I mean, I attempted to watch Demon Slayer, but I couldn't get through more than like 3 or 4 episodes. Because I do not vibe with their style of narration, but like that may well be a me thing. So like, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Jace and Q, for the contribution to the Dragon and Fox stream challenge. Oh, Jesus, we're at now 75% done. Watching all One Piece again and 6 other animes. I have no idea how people can do that. I really don't. KPS can't either. Because right at that point, he chose to meow. The most notable thing about Demon Slayer is it's animated by UFO Table. Oh, yeah, the people who did God Eater, which is a very weird thing to say and actually be a mark of this is good, because the animated parts of God Eater and the God Eater anime itself, as I understand, is exceptionally well animated.
It took me embarrassingly long to like brain what God Eater was again, even though I was there for like enough parts of the stream to know what it is and recognize the name.
You never forget the God Eater. It's always there somehow, especially with, everything being connected to God Eater somehow. Although I do remember I saw something recently that actually wasn't connected to it, which really surprised me. Can't remember what it was, but basically, like, there's the whole thing of, like, everything is connected to God Eater because almost everything that we have seen or played since playing God Eater has shared at least one voice actor with God Eater, either the Japanese or the English version. And there has been one very recently that I played. It's like, oh my god, this sounds like they're from God Eater, but no, there's not. And I looked at the cast and crew of both of them, and no one had been in both. I found the thing that broke the chain, and I've actually completely forgotten what it was.
Meanwhile, I can hear Capius meowing up a storm.
Yeah, there's no way he's not going to stop. Basically, all he's going to be yowling like that until I feed him in 25 minutes. Cry Machina? Yes, I think it might be Cry Machina. That's the one which I thought I heard different people from God Eater in, and then went and checked, like, oh my god, there's no one from God Eater in this.
Wow, it's seamless.
APS.
By the way, I still haven't remembered that thought I had a while back.
I am not surprised. Don't know why, but I don't expect it to surface anytime soon. Then I'm going to get a random DM at 2 a.m. my time with just what you were thinking about.
Yes, I mean that is our like most typical mode of communication, like where at random hours of the day I'll text you with some random thought that popped into my head, or if I'm feeling extra spicy, I'll be going to sleep and send you some random ass thing like ask me about this thing tomorrow when I wake up. Good night.
Yeah.
And leave you just with whatever sprang into my head at whatever ungodly hour of the night.
I think what's most impressive about when you do those moments is the fact that you do actually remember them the next day, and I remember to ask you about them. I was like, oh my god, we're almost a functional person.
That like reminds me, like my fiance, when so earlier this year when like we finally reunited after our long COVID induced time apart, she and her sister came to fetch me from the train station, but for some reason they like parked the car somewhere else and like didn't bring either of their phones. So when I was texting them, "Hey, I have arrived. I'm there now. Come and get me." Like nobody was answering. So I went to look for them, and because they didn't see me, they went to look for me as well. So we like mutually went off to find each other, and we just kept missing each other until I finally just like gave up and sat down on like the stairs that lead out to the parking lot where like they passed by on their way back to the car, and like that's when they finally found me. And I was like, y'all need me, like you lot are not a functional person together. We need like the three of our brains put together um in order to be like a semi-functioning brain.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Get random DMs, I get scam calls. Ah, thank you, Ryan, for reminding me to save. It has been saved. Cool. It's not an art stream without the save goddammit command.
Yeah. And like this tells you that like I am also an artist because I also forget to save shit.
Yeah. I mean, you're the reason why the save goddammit redeem exists, only it was for I think it was Dishonored the first time I was doing it because I need to save scum quite a bit. I kept forgetting to save.
Yeah, and I held the saving timer.
Oi! Capius!
Oh no.
Yeah, he's actually going to full-on dickhead mode. I just caught him clawing at my green screen, which is rolled up.
Hmm.
I'm going to turn you into a sock, Capius. Just one. There's been rotten stinker too. She's outside barking at God knows what. Boof. I'll go do a boof.
I see the cats have united. Apis demands food now, much like the Pip does.
No. Well, Pip's a dog. Although, with how small Pip is, you could confuse her for a cat. Capius demands food now, much like Pip does. Pip judging me from across the room. Yeah, that sounds like Pip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that actually might be all of the ones I need. We're ignoring the fact that the hood exists at this point in time. The hood is a separate thing. I mean, look, even the body agrees the hood is a separate thing. Because if I remove the body, the hood is not a separate thing, but there's the head. The hood is part of the body. There, hoodies. Boop. See? Separate thing entirely. Boop. Ah. Fine. We don't talk about the hoodie yet.
We don't talk about layers.
Oh, thankfully this thing has got all the layers already planned out for me.
Oh, thank fuck.
It's why I like dealing with these bases, because they've already got all the layers.
That's really good, cause yeah, like let me tell you, for the longest time, I did not use any layers, none whatsoever. Everything I did was just like the most I would do was that I would on my old ass program, I had the option to select a part and like work on that, and then like reunited with the rest of the thing. That was the most I did that like came close to like the usage of layers. And I did that for years.
And to this day, it completely bemuses me, because I know so many people who do use layers but refuse to name them. Not naming any names. Hint, hint. Someone in chat.
Not like I am also Totally not guilty of that.
This does extend also to OBS for this one person I'm thinking of. Because all of their assets and stuff in OBS is just called like browser, browser 1, browser 2, apart from 2 of them that were specifically renamed just so they could show someone else how to name your assets in OBS. That's the only reason those things have names.
I am not going to comment on that either.
Yay.
I mean, like, my method to this day with layers is like, the sooner I am rid of them, the better. So, like, I'll pretty much, like, as soon as possible, just, like, unite them with the underlying whatever I'm doing and be done with it. Like, the fewer layers I have, like, I am opposite with layers as I am with tabs.
Oh god. Why are you up? If I bit you, Tora, you're so small I'd accidentally swallow you. Fuck naming layers, chaos reigns. Regroup, hello and welcome. Layers. Yeah, the things that you don't have because you use MS Paint. That's not a diss, I'm just saying, layers don't exist on MS Paint. Or they do if you do a certain workaround, you can have like 2 layers, but yeah. You also don't know layers, will you? Why do people not name layers?
Actually, I named layers once.
I mean, like, the thing that gets me is that loads of people I know, well, the people I know who don't name layers, then say, which layer was I working on, or which layer do I need to go to? It's like, if you named them, you'd know.
I don't. I don't have that problem because, as I said, I get rid of my layers as soon as possible. So, like, I am only ever really working on one active layer at a time. So, like, for me, that's not a problem. I don't need to name my layers because it's redundant. Because it's like the line art layer. Okay, cool. That's on the bottom. On top of that is the coloring layer and nothing else. So, like,
Yeah.
what the heck else would it be?
See, that's fair. That is, having your own system to avoid that from happening. But no, I know people who don't name their layers. They just click new layer, start working on it, and when they realize they need to go back to a different layer to do more work, they're like, well, which layer was it? If you'd name them, you'd know. Or else you didn't mean me when you said something about OBS because all your OBS is named exactly. Like, in fairness, the person that I am indicating, I'm A, not naming because, that's unfair, and B, they are aware that I'm taking the mick and making fun of it. I'm not being serious. I'm not going to give people actual shit over how they do their art. At the end of the day, so long as, you've done it and, it's not been done through AI generation, it's fine, it's art. However you've done it, however you've gotten from point A to B is fine. Again, except for AI art generation. That's
Yeah, like, for me, the only way I would accept the inclusion of art generation is like, if, for example, I wanted to like get a slight different version of my own art piece, but I couldn't be bothered to paint it, so I would feed my own art and nothing else into the AI and use the AI basically as a tool to like help me along the way. But like, I severely do not vibe with like people using other people's art as like fodder to feed their AI, because
yeah.
like that is not how that should work.
Yeah, that is
It's copyright.
the issue, because the concept of AI image generation as a tool, the concept is good, and it's actually something that could be very helpful to people. You can type in a few things and bam, there's a background. Awesome. I can now put the thing I've drawn onto that background, and I don't have to worry about backgrounds. That's a great thing. The fact that,
Yes.
as said, all AI image generations is using stolen art, big no. And it's the same for chat and story writing AI. That has all been stolen from books. Like, I'm
Yeah.
very certain George R.R. Martin came forward and said that like Chat GP or GPT or whatever it is had mostly been ripped from his books without permission and without any money being exchanged.
Mm. And like it's not even that good. Like I'm not sure which chat generator it was, but like I saw a while back some like quote unquote like fan fiction type thing where like the dialogue is just so dead and wooden. So it's like not even good. Like yeah, just completely not how humans speak.
Capious
So yeah, I'm
Buddy,
not
12
a fan.
minutes.
Your human notions of time mean nothing to the feline.
Oh. The only thing that matters to him is his stomach.
Yes.
The weird thing is that sometimes Stream is not picking up his meows because of my microphone filter, but because my avatar has no filters on it and doesn't have the capacity for filters, when he meows at just the right volume for it not to be captured by OBS, because of the background noise filters, it still gets caught by my VTuber, so you can see my VTuber move when I'm not speaking because it's picked up his meow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And now he's sitting on the back of the chair. To be clear, not the chair I'm on. I'd be very impressed if he could sit on the back of this, because it's a very thin piece of plastic at the back of it.
I just thought I saw something. Apparently I am hallucinating. Or I'm
Join the
paranoid
club.
or haunted.
You just got hit with a plus 20 because of Botsanui. I'm going to die now. Now you know how Q feels playing against me. There's a reason why why people don't want to play Uno with me. It's because I'm a shit at it. It will make life awful for anyone who plays me as Uno.
Listen, I have no shame when it comes to Uno. Like, that is one of the games that I do actually play. Which, like, call the newspapers, 10 plays a game.
Oh.
But, like, yeah. I have won some pretty vicious Uno matches.
There exists art of that Jace drew of Q, Jace, and myself playing Uno, and Q's reaction to what I did. And it's the best thing ever.
I want to see that.
Give me a sec. I will pop it up on stream because it does need to be seen.
Yes.
Where are you? You are there, I think. Yep, there is. That's a bit big. They are. That perfectly captures what was going on in the Uno match and pretty much every single Uno match since.
I feel this on a spiritual level, yes.
Yeah, especially as the Uno that we played has these really weird rules, like, you know, if you play a 0, you can exchange your cards with someone else. If you play a 7, everyone's hands move to the side. So of course I'd find all these cards and just, you know, stockpile them.
Yes. You always have to stockpile them. You have to keep them for the opportune moment and then just like bam in your face.
Like, oh no, someone's going to win. Nope.
Yes,
Hey, draw
exactly.
4.
That's how you do it. Yeah, and it's always like, I always like whenever I hold like the cards in my hand, I'll sort them specifically to like the stuff that I can just use at random, like numbers, whatever, the stuff that nobody gives a shit about, and then like off to the side, usually in their own little corner, are the evil cards, and like those get hoarded until the opportune moment, and then like if somebody like starts making winning noises, no you don't.
Winning noises. I love that term. Don't forget stacking +2s. Yeah. Yeah. There has been
Wish I
so
could
many
look up.
times as well when someone has thought they've been playing that trick on me and stacked loads of +2s and gotten me to draw a load of cards. Like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Oh, by the way, I just played a 0. Have my shitty hand.
Like wasn't there like a tweet by like Uno, the official the company, that like you're actually not allowed to stack the +2 or +4 cards on top of each other?
Yep.
And like basically the entire internet was like, no,
Yeah.
thank you for the cards, but you don't know how to like play your own game. Thank you. Go to bed, Grandpa.
Yeah. I was like, thank you for your input. We will consider it and deny it.
Yes.
It's like, I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as Monopoly. Monopoly, they're just, if you play Monopoly by the official rules, it is so much less fun. And it is actually difficult.
Wait, how are you supposed to play that?
So, when you land on a property, you have to buy it. If you don't buy it, it goes up for auction between all the other players.
Oh.
Yeah, it is not an option to skip out on property.
Oh.
Yeah. Free parking also. By the rules, free parking doesn't do anything.
Eh.
Yeah. Whereas most people I know put, like, whenever you have to pay taxes or anything like that, that money goes into the centre. If you land on free parking, all that money is yours. Capious buddy. Who knows what it is? Entitled that incorrect opinion. Also, you are welcome to the random German. Ha! That's now. We have learned a German. Congratulations. We have leveled up our linguistic skills. We have a German.
You have to
Sounds
pronounce
awful
the
out of context.
You have to pronounce the like it's the umlaut.
Eh.
It's not proper German what the fuck noise if it's not heh.
I mean, saying something's not proper German is what my dad has heard most of his life.
I mean, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I know better than to awaken the draconic wrath.
Oh no! This is my dad, who is German by birth.
And you are related to that, so
Only by illegality.
I mean,
You gotten past that. Don't red orc in Baldur's Gate 3. I do not know what you mean. Red one. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. So, don't elaborate, please, because that sounds like it could be a spoiler.
Buddy boy.
Ah, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. It's fine, KPs. You can wait 3 minutes. Appreciate it, Titan. Yep. Gabius is now being manipulative, is what he's doing. He's giving up on trying to guilt me into it, and now he's trying to guilt Callie into it. Wait, what? What the? Oh, tit sprinkles. I didn't blend these ones. Thought I was getting close. I thought I was almost there, but no, I bamboozled myself at the final hurdle.
Ask me how I felt when I had to color in all the dangling chimes and gold coins on Loki's outfit.
Oh, yeah, I've had one I've done that
And the
with recently.
pearls.
Yeah, I know that pain. And what, do you want to know what was worse about the one I did? Because it was one of these type of bases, they were on, you know, all they had their individual layers. The jewelry was itself split between 2 layers.
Ah!
Don't know why. Feed the cat. I'll feed the cat when it's time to. He's not getting an early
That is
feeding.
precisely. That's exactly why I don't do layers. Because no.
Yeah, I still can't understand why that was, you know, the intended thing to, like, you know, have one layer known as metal and the other one as necklace, but it was still all the parts of it were either on those two, but there was no distinction because there were metal parts on the necklace layer and there were necklace parts on the metal layer. I don't even know why. That's been done. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no. Layers are my kryptonite.
I thought coloring and was your like kryptonite.
Like they're not my kryptonite. They're just tedious and annoying. But like the actual layer salad, I cannot even.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, it is now time to feed the cat. I will save the game.
The game.
The game of art. There you go. Right. Apparently my brain's just not working. I will be
Has
right
it
back,
ever?
and I will leave you all in the entertainment qualities of the Emoto. I'll be right back.
Cool. Awesome. Great. So while the cats are being fed, I, as a fellow cat, feel very much called upon to also feed myself. So I'm going to try and find myself a snack, which I can do because my headphones nowadays have Bluetooth, so you should still be able to hear me, even though I can't see the chat anymore. So in the meantime, we are on my quest to find food, which I just realized my parents didn't leave me any fruit, which I was going to snack on. So, well, there goes that idea.
I return. Sorry about that. We have an emote with a dead mic. Okay. Thank you, Ryan. Considering what the time is here, I'm thinking I'm going to, well, I've been doing this for 2 hours already. I think I'm going to be ending fairly soon. Not immediately, because at the very least I want to finish the blending of these markings. Welcome back.
Yay! My headphones just randomly decided that, you know what, you can still hear things, but screw you for trying to want to be heard.
I love it. Technologicus Diacus.
The thing is, I don't know when it cut out, so I don't know how long poor chat sat in silence while I went to acquire some snacks because, as it turns out, my parents took all the fruits with them and left me none.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
I would offer to
So
share some of
instead,
mine, but I don't think they'd get there in time.
meanwhile, I have acquired I think um like the equivalent would be wait, what is it called? A fruit roll up? Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah, I know, fruit roll-ups.
Yeah, that from the descriptions that I've heard and like what I've seen of those, but with like a more like milk type of candy in it. So it's like vaguely fruit scented milk in like a flattened like shape.
I'm very
That's
certain
also
I've
like
had
very
those, but they've not been in that form.
yeah. Which like I hate these, but like I need some sustenance right now, and I'm not about to like eat a full meal on stream and like, you know, bother everybody with like my chewing because like I have misophonia and like I am not going to inflict that on other people.
That is entirely fair.
So
That's also part of the reason why I don't tend to eat on stream. But it's also because I don't know, I've got a weird anxiety thing about it. And, like people don't want to see me eat. I don't know.
hmm.
But,
Oh god.
on the longer streams like the subathons, I realize, and I know chat realizes that I do need to eat, and I think chat would actually get more annoyed with me if I didn't eat.
I agree. Also, this is completely just fucking disgusting.
Oh, lovely. Okay, so that
So
looks
I'm
like...
not actually going to subject myself to this torture because, contrary to popular belief, I do have some respect for myself and my taste buds.
Look, all I'm going to say on this picture at the moment is that it looks good so far. Just please don't acknowledge anything above the shoulders just yet.
Listen, it looks really good.
I've still got to... I was about to enable the viewing of this folder above the one I just opened, and I realized that no, that would probably be a bad idea. The folder is called Breast.
Ah,
Malk. What's a better name for blue balls? Camus interruptus. A cummy ache. I prefer Camus interruptus.
didn't the magic dictionary have something for that?
The Magic Dictionary. You mean Urban Dictionary?
No. The fucking dictionary everyone keeps talking about, but nobody does anything with.
I thought that was Urban Dictionary.
No. On on Maz's server.
Oh, that one, yeah. Good question. Oh, also, so this bit here that I'm vanishing, that, you know, those brown pieces. You want to know what this what the layer name is for that?
Oh no.
Rings.
Ah, yes, right.
Bearing in mind that those exist, there are already rings on this. And yet, no. These things, these brown things, these are rings. And for
I
the
don't know.
rest of
I would
it,
have called
the blue thing is just cloth. This cloth actually makes sense.
see, I would have called the brown things, I would have called them sock strap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Snack plus word that does not start with S and ends with OCK and strap.
I have
Fill
never
in
heard
the
of sock
blanks.
straps before.
Now you do.
Bullseye, someone. Oh, I saw someone I know has just started Monster Hunter World. I've just seen what Pokey sent. Yeah, that's about right. Some sibling chat, of course. Of course there is. Of course. Oh, God, I just got a visual of the Sherlock thing again. Honestly, for this, like the cloth thing, being like the darkish greeny blue thing, actually kind of works. I don't really fancy changing it. I can't think of anything to change it better to. I mean, if I'm being entirely honest, I can't think of anything to change all of the outfit to. Because color-wise, it actually looks pretty spot on.
I agree.
Yeah. Body. What's the next thing on the list? Oh, hoodie. Outfit part 2. What's that bit? Oh, it's those bits. There's hoodie next. Woo. Oh, is that what I think it is? Yeah. Hood rings. Get rid of the jewelry on the hood. Sure. Color hood. Let's see how much of this responds to the fill tool. I'm actually surprised. Quite a fair amount. Not perfect, but it'll do.
So, I just I've been scrolling through the dictionary,
Yeah.
and I came upon the term word bukake, coined by Onisama, which is a rant, paired with coined by me, graphite bukake, the outcome of tearing some paper.
I mean, yeah. Paper tearing being a phrase that I coined because when I was doing my sketching by hand practice with a pencil and paper, I was going through a lot of A4 sheets of paper and ripping them in half and talking to Emoto whilst doing so. And so paper ripping became the precursor to what that server calls paper abuse, which is art. Because you're abusing paper with your paint or pen.
Yes. Which also, didn't you, pick up the paper tearing from me? Because, I've been doing that for the longest time as well, so, I think...
Yeah, you're 100% the person that inspired me to do that.
Yes.
I think it's
Oh,
might have been
God.
characterized by emotes emotes with going to go and tear some paper. No other context, just time to tear paper.
I just came upon brushing one's bikini carnival.
Bikini Carnival.
Which, like, let me tell you the glorious story of how that brand new sentence came into existence.
Oh, I
The year
know this.
the year was 2018, and in Germany, we have something called the Jugendwort des Jahres, aka the youth word of the year, where ye old people, of
I feel
like the people
targeted.
who make the dictionary, um, the people who make dictionaries, they sit down and like ask some teenagers like, what's the lingo y'all be using like these days? Like, give us like an update. Like, what are y'all saying these days?
The
And
fact that you
then
said y'all
a bunch,
hurts.
um, and then like they put together a list of youth words, supposedly, and let the public vote which ones are considered youth words of this year. And those have been notoriously bullshit because, like, whenever a new youth word comes out, there's always the youths then being like, what is this word? I have never heard anybody use that word. I only know it because it's on the list and people use it ironically.
I was about to say, if
So
it had been
that's,
me in that position, it'd be like, I am going to give him a bullshit word. I am so going to give him a bullshit word.
yeah, like, which I think is pretty much what happens with that. Because, like, it has always been like that. And, yeah, that's the context, of the youth word being a thing. Now, in 2018, I was at a different clinic where, for fun, one day we just looked up the current listing for the youth words to be, and we came upon the term Achselfasching, which I have loosely translated to armpit carnival.
Armpit Carnival.
Which is referring to, like, I think that was in the time when, like, women would often like dye their armpit hair to like make a feminist statement that like they keep their armpit hair, and like because it's coarse curly hair that kind of looks like those like shitty clown wigs. um the term armpit carnival, because carnival is when people wear those shitty clown wigs, was coined.
Wow. Wow,
Now,
that's...
the story goes on with me then coining the term bikini carnival for the other type of curly coarse hair that people might have.
Oh, wow.
And then we finally get to the term that is immortalized in the dictionary, brushing one's bikini carnival, translating to sitting at the window, according to my mother, where those like medieval like illustrations of like princesses sitting romantically on the windowsill, brushing out their hair in the morning sun.
Oh, yeah.
And I like at some point I referred to that, and my mom, which like this tells you where I got my insanity from. My mom was like, brushing hair, eh? What kind of hair are you brushing? Implying that, they be brushing not the hair on their heads.
Ah, no problem. Sleep well, DJ. Thanks for coming as long as you did, and I'll see you later. Wow.
Feel better soon.
Wow.
And yeah, so sitting at the window or sitting on the windowsill has now become brushing one's bikini carnival.
Wow.
You're welcome.
I don't know how to feel about that, but wow. Yeah, that's the thing now. Yeah, I don't need you anymore. I don't need this picture anymore. Aha, blah, blah. Need you because blah. Undo, please undo, please undo. Thank you. Okay, so the head is more patterned. We'll translate that sort of thing into this order of bollockry.
Yeah, I don't envy you for that.
Fine, it's fine. Things I have to do to people. So it's let's have like that. So it's mostly that color, but also doing like this. Go like that somewhat. So
I was holding my breath for some reason. I don't know why.
it's the anticipation. It's art anticipation.
No, it's like the instinct of like, oh, drawing precise lines. Must hold
Yeah.
breath to
Okay,
make
yeah,
pen
that's
steady.
definitely. There we go. That's fine. Oh, but no, that's fine. Should be fine. Fine. That as well, and boop. That'll be fine. It's fine.
Oh gods. Another gem I found is the appendage salad.
Oh god. What is it with salads in that server? I mean, in fairness, it's Maz's server, so that should give us quite a few clues.
Yes.
Like, absolutely adore Maz. Wonderful, wonderful person, but very unique style of humour. Not exactly bad, but distinctive. You know when it's a joke or a thing that Maz has said.
Yes. Hence why, to me, she is the one and only matstress.
Oh yeah, there was also the Callie just reminded me of the safe for nephews thing that came up as well.
Ah. Which like should we tell the story of that to your poor unfortunate chat?
I think I've mentioned it before. I think we might have mentioned it on a past stream, but it's been a while since I've had you on voice. So you know what? Go for it. Let's teach the world the difference between safe for work and safe for nephews.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Before we go into that, I also found Face Carnival.
It's carnival. Ah. Oh wow.
Goodness me. Wow, I got to the very top of the dictionary. Started on January the 14th in 2019.
That makes me feel old because I remember when that was started.
Yep. Wow. Ouch.
Yeah, right in the old
okay.
bits.
So, safe for nephews. This came to be because at one point, Maz showed me an image that had, let's say, questionable means of censorship, where, like, if you have seen certain types of anime art, sometimes they will censor it, but like in name only, where it's like a tiny, tiny, tiny bar across the juicy bits, and that is somehow supposed to protect the the innocence from the corruption of their poor innocent souls. And so Maz found one of those images and showed it to me, and she went through the trouble of like editing out the censorship, which was quite simple given that it was hardly existing to begin with. And yeah, I made the joke because, like, for context, I do have two nephews who, at that time and even to this day, are underage. So I made the joke that, like, look at those censor bars. Wow, that's amazing. This is totally safe to show to my nephews. Like, that's, yep, that's definitely enough to censor that. Awesome. Great work, people. You have protected the children.
Yep.
So yeah, safe for nephews became a term for that type of censorship where it's like one tiny little line across the naughty bits, and it's like I can literally see like the veins on this appendage salad and like all the dressing and like all the ingredients mixed up in there. Like I can see everything. This one vein is thicker than the actual sensor bar. What are you trying to achieve?
The sensor bars aren't really covering anything. Yeah. The goal sensor is just there to say it's sensitive but ultimately minimal in effect. Yeah, pretty much. In fact, give me 2 seconds until I finish off getting all these little bits, and I will demonstrate. I will censor the most offensive part of this that I absolutely possibly can. Absolute filthiest thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's an offensive nostril.
Listen, that already is like too censored.
I know, right? Even that is better than a censorship. Oh, wait, no. We don't like reptilian eyes here. Damn it, wrong layer.
That looks like a fashionable scar.
It does. You know this. Ow. I'm putting way too much effort into this.
You know, my favorite type of censorship is like when you have the
This finger is too lewd.
It's
better now. That's safe for nephews.
Yes, thank you very much. My soul has been saved from the corruption. No
one
but like
will ever be
my
able to know
favorite.
that's a finger.
Yep. My favorite thing is like when you have the scene of the insertion and the censorship goes like in like angles around the rim, but like you can still see everything going everywhere.
Yeah. Oh no, I haven't done that yet. I'm trying to find which layer I was supposed to be back on. The light of gold bar with the good coming out.
That's also a good one.
This has to have a color outline that also has to blend. Will it blend? Has to.
Yeah, I maintain I do not envy you for that.
Oh no, what's even worse?
Oh no, here it comes.
The fact that I'm going to be offering this kind of thing as a thing on servers, on my server. So if anyone wants, has a character idea or something they're interested in, but doesn't have any art for it, I'll put up the bases that I have. If any of them apply, yeah, I'll do it. Send Send me your color scheme and all that, and I will do it. I've done a few of them now. I'm trying to think
Maybe
if
I'll
I can show any of them that are safe for work. I cannot think of any right now.
I'll just like once I finally get to the like redesign and redrawing of my Tales of the Terrible She art, I'll just hire you to like color in stuff. Like I'll do the line art, I'll do the sketches, I'll do the shading and all that, but like I just cannot be bothered to do the coloring, so I'll just hire you for that.
Yeah, I'm happy doing that.
Then you will have the joy of coloring in however many goddamn beads shall be on Loki's outfits. You're welcome.
Yeah. The art shot. Oh my god. All the rest of it for Viennera with Great Love. Yes. One of them so much that actually Ride's profile picture on Discord is currently one of the references that I did for their character V, aka Scarve. That's one of the things I'm, one of the bases.
Yes, I saw that one.
That's the one I told you that all I had to go on that was 3 colors.
Yes, and I very much approve.
Love so much. Good. That's exactly the reaction I want it to be. It's you like what I've done with the characters that much. Yeah, there currently is a queue going on with these. Let me just bring up the queue and see what it is. So we've got this one, then we've got 2 saber-toothed tigers in the works, then a hyena, and then a werewolf. And the werewolf is for me. That's what we've currently got in the queue.
Yay.
And the hyena is the one for you, Abozo.
Yay! My chunky girl!
Yes. Go smaller for this blend. At least it's going to be an easier blend because there's only a few little bits and pieces. It's fine. The kind of stuff that I won't be seen unless you really zoom in, but now it's fine. It'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency.
I have the very bad impulse to draw as well, but like I cannot even.
Ah.
Like I wouldn't even know what to draw. Like I have a few sketches that I started and gave up on because I no longer vibe with them.
That's entirely
Like
fair.
mid painting, I'd just be like, you know what? Screw this. I cannot even. So like I gave up on them.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't know. Like if I were to start drawing, I don't know what I would even do.
I've had a couple of those recently where I've it just has not gone well to the point. I was like, you know what? No, yoink, throw.
Yep. Like I'm just very like sadly the whole thing with the redesign has kind of demotivated me because again, I already have so much art for the Tales of the Terrible She, none of which I can keep using. So like actually I can probably reuse the one featuring Thor because they're in disguise. So like I could say, oh, Loki, because of the disguise, made her hair black for this occasion.
That's true.
So like maybe she was like trying to look more like her mother. So like I can keep that potentially, but everything else, yeah, everything else I'll have to change. Which also includes my beautiful sibling like three-way hug, which
Yeah.
like is one of my masterpieces, let's just be honest. Like it's so good.
KPS what?
And I can't use it.
The life of an artist. Also, KPS is meowing for no apparent reason. Might want attention.
KPS, come here,
Just
buddy.
wants to join in on the conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe Capius wants to join in the lamentation of my artistic woes.
He will offer his tail. It will go in your
Thank you.
face.
Wipe my tears with his tail.
Oh, more like stick him up your nose. That's his specialty. He knows exactly where your nose is, so his tail goes right there. Now, Capius, buddy, less claws, please.
Listen, claws are like spice. You can never have enough.
I would
Claws are
disagree,
like-
but sure.
Claws are skin spice.
Right, I don't need you advocating for Capius with but scratchy. Because that looks like you're saying butt scratchy. God damn it, now I'm itching. Ah!
Listen, we don't judge where you get your scritches from, okay?
I'm not
This is a no. This is a tolerant. This is a tolerant stream and chat environment. Everybody is welcome to have their scratches and scritches wherever they want them.
I am not using my cat to scratch my ass. Just want to put that out there. I'm not using Capius to scratch my ass.
Maybe you should. Maybe he would be happy.
If I'm gonna, it's not gonna be on stream or anywhere that's gonna be recorded.
I mean, my fiance's cats have scratched the tatas, which, like, I mean, I did not consent to.
Use him to scratch that hard-to-reach place on your back. Right? That doesn't exist for me. My arms are very flexible. I can touch any part of my back at will very easily.
Yeah, same here.
It's really nice to
I
be able to
remember,
do it.
Yes. When I was in rehab, which, like, for context, I'm talking about German type of rehab, not drug rehab as it is commonly used in English speaking like contexts.
Yeah.
We had something called office gymnastics, which was intended to, like, you know, after a long day of sitting in your office chairs so that you could, like, move a little bit and, like, not turn into, like, a crusty shrimp.
Same. Both Ride and Tora are that flexible. Oh my good god. Oh, that's good news.
And as part of that, we, like, had to do, like, stretching where, like, we would stretch one arm by the elbow behind the back. I think you know the stretch that I mean.
I do exactly, and I've just realised that they both meant about Kitty scratching tartars, not about being flexible. When they're both saying same. Never mind me. My reading comprehension and memory of what was just said is kind of in the toilet, apparently.
Uh,
Oh, Tora meant flexible.
okay, cool. Either way, apparently I was the most flexible person in that classroom because, like, you know, I did the normal stretches and
I'm
the
going to
teacher or,
preface
like,
this.
the instructor.
I have to preface this with sibling immunity, but I'm not surprised. Please continue.
And the instructor came by and was like, "Wow, you can actually touch your like
Please finish that
your
sentence.
like we also had like a different one where like you had to like put one arm behind your head and the other behind your back and like try to touch your hands between your shoulder blades.
Oh
And like
yeah,
I was
that's
able to do that.
yeah. I can do that, so I can link my fingers together.
Yes, exactly. I was able to do that too. And some people couldn't even get their like upper hand to lay on their back actually instead of like their shoulder or whatever.
And there's
And
also
I was
one
like,
called prayer position, which is like you put both of your hands behind your back and slip them up between your shoulder blades and press the palms together as if you're praying, and then you lean forward slightly.
yes,
Basic yoga moves.
yes. I can also do that, obviously.
Yeah.
So like flexibility.
Yes.
I mean, I do think that like I don't fall into like the I don't qualify to like be like um hyper flexible or hyper mobile to the point of like it being part of a disorder or something.
Oh yeah,
Like there
the
are like
Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
yeah, exactly, that one for example, or like just general like there is another one where like your connective tissue is weaker or something like that. I don't fall into like that range because like um I did the tests where you like where they like look how far you can stretch, and apparently I don't stretch far enough in the right places, but I stretch in other places that was not part of the test, so whatever. Um so like I think I'm just generally flexible without
Same.
it being a thing. So yeah.
I would say I can't
Not
do it without
not
sort of half
ill.
like leaning on something. That's because I have like about the sort of move. Fair. Just sounds like a quick way to dislocate something. Well, that's the thing. It's supposed to be enhancing your flexibility so you don't easily dislocate it. And good night, Titan. Thanks for coming as long as you did, and see you later. Have yourself a good night.
I mean, like you're not supposed to stretch things to the point of like actively being in pain.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an exercise that warms up your joints, keeps them flexible and
Yes.
mobile.
Yeah. Like if you're hurting yourself doing that, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, or your body is not yet flexible enough, which means you need to do the lower end stretches.
Yes. Also, stay warm when you're stretching because like if you are deathly cold and your joints and muscles are all tense because of that, you're also more likely to injure yourself.
Yep. Oh my
Hence why the
God.
term warm up.
Oh, also, here's an amazingly funny thing I can do. Lep. Lem. Lep. Lem. Lep. Lem. Lep. 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 Lep.
I very much approve of that, yes.
Or you might.
Also, I very much approve of the come hither shaped tips of the tongue.
Come close. I only want a taste of my new skin suit.
Okay, Hannibal Lecter.
It's fine. I just want, a taste of the liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Why are you? What are you? You're part of the hood. Oh, you sneaky little wanker.
What?
So this bit over here, which looks like it's just like an eyeball bulging out on the right side, that's actually part of the hood. Because if I hide the head completely, It's this bit.
Oh. Oh.
I was wondering why it
Ah.
wasn't filling in properly.
Okay. Okay. The hood without the head looks tremendously cursed. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Believe me, the body without a head does as well.
Wait, shouldn't that part be purple or red? I mean,
Maybe.
yeah, because like the upper edge of the hood on the other side is red. I think that should be red.
Yeah, you got a point, because it's, at this part of it rather than this bit, which is still supposed to be that one closer to the head. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep. Easily changed.
I think it'll also help like visually separate the one from the other so people won't be as confused as we were just now.
Hopefully.
Or they'll think that like poor Snack got a black eye.
Snake got a punch.
Somebody booped the Snack too hard.
When the
Or
snoot
as
booping gets
oh
too
god,
much.
as my mother would say, no, where do I even start with this? Okay, so my mom, uh, my mom sometimes like instead of like petting or stroking somebody, like oh good child, let me pet you or something.
Yeah.
She will say, oh, let me just like very intensely pet you with my foot, as like being like, because like it's like a joke on like her being like, what a bad child you are, I'm going to kick you, I'm going to hit you or whatever. Like she would never. That's why it's funny. It's funny because she would never. She would rather die than lay a hand on me and hurt me. I want to say that for context before anybody thinks that like my mom is a monster. She is a monster, but not that kind. So when she says, oh, I'm going to very intensely pet you with my foot,
It's not kicking, it's
it's
very
like,
intense petting.
exactly, it's like being euphemistic about like kicking you in the head for being stupid or for being naughty or something. So like, yeah, somebody stepped on the snack.
You have pizza ride? I would be jealous normally, except for my dinner plans. I don't know. I don't know if me saying about my dinner plans would actually be a thing like, that's a Florida thing, or no, it's a US thing. Or it might be an East Coast thing.
Oh
I don't
dear.
know. States are
Oh
weird.
dear.
The fact that I can say about a supermarket is pretty much only in Florida, but then I can say a different chain of something is across the entirety of the states. It's like, where's the litmus test? Which is the average? What is more common? None of it. Tell you, Miller's, isn't it, Kelly? Miller's Ale House. Don't know if that's outside of Florida or not, or what, but it's definitely a chain. But I don't know if it's a Florida unique chain.
My
Like,
German is showing because I have never even heard of the thing.
I mean, it's primarily like a sports bar, but they serve really good food and have a really good selection of beer there. And it's it's a chain, so everything's good.
Ah.
We don't have one here. We have other breweries as well. We have shitloads of independently owned breweries around here, like loads of them. Like you go for a drive and you'll trip over one of them easily. But Miller's is more of a chain one.
I see.
Yeah, it's a restaurant, but they serve a wider variety of alcohol than most other places do, and they're also very heavily themed towards you sit down and you watch a sporting event on one of the huge number of TVs that are around the place. Yeah. Yeah. The thing why I'm saying like it's somewhat of a sports bar, to differentiate it, because a sports bar has very, very specific connotations that doesn't apply to Miller's.
It's mostly a restaurant with a bar with TVs.
Yeah. while driving it.
It's full service.
I love it, Tora, that you make it sound like you've never heard a turn of phrase before.
No, but I do appreciate the visual, like the mental image of that, of like your car walking on its tires and like just being like, "Hola."
Look, I might have tamed Optimus Prime, okay?
Wow. What did you do to achieve that?
I fucked him.
Actually, I was gonna say, do I even want to know?
Yeah, it's fine. I just needed to tickle the Octopussy. I need to be stopped.
Somebody help get me out of here. I'm staked on Onisama's horns. Somebody please remove my cup from Onisama's horns.
There's no escaping.
Ah!
Yes. Is that what you meant to say, or were you going to say something else?
No, I hadn't made a decision in my actual brain.
Oh.
But apparently my subconscious made a decision and told you, and I had no memory of it.
That sounds about right.
I mean, yeah. It surely does.
Yeah.
Oh, me.
Yep. That's exactly what we expect to happen.
No, I had a thought, and this completely derailed that thought. Okay, no, I remember.
Now.
No, I remember.
Oh, very good.
Because it was about chat, and like,
Chat, you've been targeted.
I have never been like that much of a fan of pizza. Like, I'll eat a pizza. Like, we had some delicious veggie pizza while we were at the clinic, which is not a testament of like the kitchen at the clinic. It's a testament to the nearby pizza place where we ordered our pizza from, because the clinic food was a choice.
Usually is.
Yeah. So that was that. But sadly, now I think it will be a long time until I'm able to eat pizza again, especially veggie pizza, because once again, that was one of the last foods I ate before the food poisoning happened.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah. Which, like, I am mostly recovered, so that, like, I can pretty much eat normally. Like, I'm not watching what exactly I eat as I did before.
That's
And,
good.
like, most of the stuff that, like, my mom, the food that she makes, I know I can trust that, and, like, it's gonna be safe and all that. So, like, I am pretty calm about eating that. But, like, even now, just thinking about certain foods still makes me kind of queasy. So I'm like, I'd like to have my normal eating habits back, please.
Yeah, I can see that. Come on. Maybe I'll do a reverse thing on that. That's not gonna work.
I'm amazed that you can like look at the reference and translate that to your drawing, because I cannot use references for the life of me, and I don't know why.
I'm as surprised as you are. I'm legitimately as surprised as you are at that, because yeah, I have no idea.
Like, I used to have a private art teacher. Like, she was like a professional artist, and she would like teach me various like techniques on paper, on like the heavier watercoloring paper and stuff like that, and like with different types of paint, like the typical like watercolor pigments, tempura, not tempura,
I was going to say,
no, wait,
tempura
was
is,
it
battered food.
tempura? Like there was like it's a specific name that like it sounds very similar to tempura, so I'm like I keep mixing them up. Like there was a similar term. But like those were like a more thicker consistency, so you could like have like the built up texture on your paint as
Yeah.
opposed to it just like melting into the paper and being flat. That's what I'm trying to say. But it was not oil based, it was water based. So
Okay.
I don't know. Um, so that thing also with like the what's it called, like the carving, when like you have the like those like plate things that are like of like this like slightly gummy texture, and you like carve your motif into that, and then like you put color on that, and then you use it to print on your actual paper. I don't know what that's called in English. Like
Stamping, I think?
that's maybe, I don't know.
Die
Either
cutting,
way,
according to Torah.
that's yes, probably. Like yeah, you had like a cutting thing to like carve and cut into the whatever. Anyway, point is she taught me various like traditional like uh
I'm happy with that. That's fun.
traditional ways of like putting pigments on a surface. Um and I've completely lost my train of thought. What were they saying? Right.
About the
And we like
Antarctica.
went out into nature, like so I could like look at trees and nature and plants and whatever, and like paint those, and like I tried, but I just cannot. I can't. It does not, I do not brain that way.
I can understand that. There we go.
Yay, we got a signature.
I class that as finished.
Yay.
Right, now, export. Yes. Also do a separate version with no background. Awesome. It's done. Now just to send them to the client. Remember where I put them first. Yes, here we are. Send that. Awesome.
Meanwhile, in the back of my head, I'm still thinking about like what I should do for my like redesigned art for the Tales of the Terrible Sheep. But like,
I love
because
it.
like also the thing like I haven't improved in my art to the point where I would be like saying like, oh, this old art is like, obsolete. I can do better now. I should redo this. But it's also just like, I can't just keep using it because it's just the design is wrong. So I'm like, eh.
Yeah. Cool. That is that done, which means that that's actually a really good bit of timing because we're coming up on 3 hours.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. 100% accurate. The stream timer is saying 2:57:29.
Excuse me, that's lacking 3 minutes.
Well, I also spent, there was also the 6 minutes at the start of it, so that's wholly dedicated to the intro music.
I mean, yes, I know.
Aside from doing art, yeah, it does. A number of times I've been working on characters like that before, and I've set to work at a fairly reasonable hour. I look up, it's 2 a.m. Yeah.
Yep, that sounds very familiar. Where like after school I would get home and start painting, and then like I'd be surprised because suddenly I feel faint, it is dark, and my dad is coming home from work, and I'm like, wait, I just sat down. What is this?
And the client is exceptionally happy with them. Good. That's what we want.
Yay! That's great.
So yeah, I think after that and the fact that I enjoy doing those and I have no issue doing those, I think I'm going to offer those as a thing permanently on Discord. That if you want one of them, you want a character with a design done, then I will give you links and that to pictures of the ones I do have available, and I will design them for when I say minimal fee, I do mean minimal fee. Like what I just did there, I would probably take, I don't know, somewhere between $5 and $10 for, because it's a thing.
Listen, I would pay you more because you'd be saving me like hours upon hours of tedious work.
I mean, I'm not going to say no if people want to pay more or add a tip or anything like that, but minimum payments, I was like, I'm not doing it to. But the way I see it is, I'm not doing it as a business, and the fact is that I'm just getting these line art bases and colouring them in. So, and I'm doing it, by a reference from someone else. So, in my mind, I don't see why I should charge for me doing that all that much. If people want to send more and they think it's worth more, then I'm not going to say no. But
I mean, fair enough.
The amount is basically down to how complex the base itself is. Like, I've got one there for like a dragoness, and it is really complex. And I think that one I'd say like 10 to 15 because it's huge.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just thinking like from my point of view, like because like you would have to like really pay me a lot to like sit down and do like coloring work, which like I know for you is not as tedious or like not as much of a chore as it is for me, but still like if you were doing it for me, like I would be saving up on so much energy that I could be using otherwise. So like for me, like it's like that service would be worth a lot. So like, hey, maybe that is how people are gonna get to see glimpses into the Tales of the Terrible She.
Yeah.
Randomly art appearing and you coloring it in and me being like, yay!
You never know. Oh.
Yee!
But yeah, that is where I'm going to end the stream now. So thank you all very much for coming along and for your support. It's all greatly appreciated. What a way to show it. And thank you very much for Moto as being a guest star on it.
Also, thank you everybody for tolerating me and my existence.
Yes. Ray Mario, if Mori's still going, then yes, I definitely will. Let me just bring up that. That's still the right. That is definitely still the right one. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, next stream for me is going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. EST, which is 7 p.m. GMT, where I'm going to be going forward with the first of the catch-up streams. And game will be decided on the day. I mean, this one is going to be a bit different because I actually have a game in mind from that list that I want to do, but mostly it will be decided on the day. But I'll see people tomorrow for then. Until then, though, oh yeah. Special shout out goes to Emoto for the 39-month resub and the message that I looked at and still thought said super anus again. I'm just going to put the raid command in. There we go. So Mori is doing some Minecraft, and she is my niece, so go and check me out. She is wonderful, and she's had a bit of a time off of doing streaming, so go give her a lovely dragon raid. Until then, thank you again for coming along. Hope you have a good rest of your day, a good evening, a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good night. Whatever the time's for you. Until then, though, stay safe, stay amazing, and see you later. Bye.
Oh wow.